You know that strange tingling in your feet, the one that comes and goes, like tiny needles poking from underneath the skin? Maybe you've noticed your fingers feel a little numb some mornings, like they've fallen asleep, but they don't quite wake up the way they used to. Maybe you're holding the railing just a little tighter going down the stairs. Or you pause at the top, just for a moment, making sure your balance is steady before you take that first step. Most people feel these things and think, well, I'm getting older. That's just part of it. But here's the surprising part. That tingling, that numbness, the little moment of hesitation at the top of the stairs, your nerves are not just getting older, they're starving, and most people over 60 have no idea it's happening. Hello, my friends, Dr. Will here. A few months ago, a man named Frank came to see me. Frank is 72, retired electrician, spent 40 years working with his hands, rewiring houses, fixing panels, the kind of work where your fingers know exactly what to do without you even thinking about it. Frank told me that about 6 months earlier, he started dropping things. Small things at first, a screwdriver, a coffee cup. He'd reach for something on a shelf and his fingers just wouldn't close around it the way they were supposed to. And then the tingling started. His fingertips, both hands. His regular doctor said, "Frank, you're getting older. These things happen. Maybe arthritis. Maybe poor circulation. Take some ibuprofen. See if it settles down." But it didn't settle down. It got worse. Frank started losing sleep because his feet would burn at night, like he was walking on warm sand, except he was lying perfectly still in bed. And when he got up in the dark to use the bathroom, he'd have to put a hand on the wall. Not because he was dizzy, because he couldn't quite tell where his feet were. Here's the deal. When I checked Frank's blood work, I found something that his previous doctor never tested. His vitamin B12 level was 148 picograms per milliliter. Normal starts around 300. Below 200, your nerves are in trouble. Frank's nerves were not dying of old age. They were starving for a single vitamin. And here's what most people don't realize. This is not rare. It is estimated that up to 20% of adults over 60 have low B12. Many don't know it. Many are told it's just aging. Many are taking ibuprofen for a problem that has nothing to do with inflammation and everything to do with nutrition. So let me walk you through what's really happening inside your body after 60. And why your nerves may be sending signals you've been misreading. Think of your nerves like the electrical wires running through the walls of your house. Each wire has a protective coating, a rubber sleeve that keeps the current flowing smoothly from point A to point B. Inside your body, that protective coating is called myelin. And after 60, 3 different things start working against it. The first thing is your stomach acid. It naturally drops as the years go by. Your body needs stomach acid to separate vitamin B12 from the protein in your food. Without enough acid, you could eat a steak every night and still have B12 pass right through you without ever being absorbed. The second thing is a protein called intrinsic factor. Think of it like a delivery truck. B12 hops on board in your stomach, and the truck carries it into your bloodstream. After 60, your body makes less of that truck, less B12 delivered. And the third thing is something most people never hear about. Tiny blood vessels feeding your nerves start to narrow over time. From years of blood sugar swings, from inflammation, from the general wear and tear of living. When those vessels narrow, your nerves get less oxygen, less fuel, and the protective coating, that myelin sleeve, starts to fray. When enough coating frays, the signal misfires. That's the tingling. That's the numbness. That's your foot feeling like it's on fire when there's no heat anywhere near it. Your nerves aren't broken, they're hungry, and the right foods can feed them. Now, I want to walk you through 5 specific signs that your nerves may be asking for help. Some of these you've probably heard about. 1 or 2 might surprise you. The first sign, and this is the one Frank noticed, is that pins and needles feeling in your hands and feet. Not the kind that happens when you sit on your leg for too long. That goes away in a minute or 2. This is different. It comes out of nowhere. You're sitting in your chair, reading a book, and suddenly your toes feel like they're fizzing. Or you wake up in the morning and 2 fingers on your left hand are tingling, and they were fine when you went to bed. That's your nerves asking for B12. When it's low, the coating gets thin, the signal leaks, and you feel that leak as tingling. The second sign is something most people write off as dizziness or an inner ear problem, but it's actually your nerves. You stand up from a chair and you feel unsteady, not spinning, just a little unsure, like your feet aren't quite where you thought they were. This happens a lot in the dark. You get up at 3 in the morning to use the bathroom and you have to feel for the wall. Or you're walking across the yard at dusk and you find yourself looking down at your feet more than you used to. That's not your inner ear. That's your nerves not sending clear position signals back to your brain. And the vitamin behind this one is often B1, thiamine. Your cerebellum, the part of your brain that handles balance, runs on thiamine. When it's low, your internal GPS gets fuzzy. The third sign is something Frank described to me, and I hear it in my clinic all the time. Burning feet at night. You lie down, everything is quiet, and your feet start to feel warm. Then hot, like someone turned a heating pad on underneath the sheets. Except there is no heating pad. This is a specific kind of nerve irritation. When the small fibers near the surface of your skin are damaged, they fire off heat signals, even though nothing hot is touching you. And it almost always gets worse at night, because during the day, movement and distraction mask the sensation. When you're still, the signal takes over. B1 and B12 work together here. B12 to repair the coating. B1 to calm the misfiring. The fourth sign is leg cramps that wake you up and don't seem connected to anything you did that day. You didn't walk farther than usual. You didn't skip water. You ate dinner at the normal time. And yet, 2 in the morning, your calf seizes up like a rock. Some of this is magnesium. We talked about that in a previous video. But there's another piece here that gets overlooked. Vitamin B6 helps your nerves talk to your muscles. It regulates the signal that says contract and the signal that says relax. When B6 is low, that conversation gets scrambled. Your muscle gets the contract signal, but the relax message arrives late, or not at all. And before you run out and buy a B6 supplement, please hear this carefully. Too much B6 from pills can actually cause nerve damage. The sweet spot for B6 is food. Food gives you what you need without the risk. The fifth sign might sound familiar if you've watched some of my other videos. Mental fog. That feeling like your thoughts are moving through molasses. You walk into a room and forget why. You see someone at the grocery store and their name is right there, but you can't grab it. You feel slower. Not dramatically, just enough to notice. Your brain is packed with myelin, more than any other part of your body. When B12 runs low, brain myelin thins out. Signals slow down. And that slowing feels like fog. We talked about foods that fight brain fog a few videos back. But what I didn't mention then is that sometimes the fog is not about what you ate this morning. It's about what your nerves have been missing for months. Now, let me tell you what Frank did. Because this is where things get practical. I didn't put Frank on a pile of pills. I gave him 3 simple food targets, foods that happened to be rich in exactly the 3 vitamins his nerves were starving for. The first was B12, and the food I asked Frank to add to his breakfast was sardines. I know, sardines are not everyone's favorite, but 3 ounces of sardines gives you more than 300% of your daily B12. More than any other common food. Clams are even higher if you like them. But sardines are easy. Open a can, put them on toast, and you're done. If sardines are a hard no for you, eggs and milk are solid alternatives. 2 eggs at breakfast gives you about 40% of what you need. And a little lemon in your water, or a splash of apple cider vinegar on your salad can help your stomach acid do its job. The second vitamin Frank needed was B1, thiamine. Here's the thing about B1 that most people never hear. Your body doesn't store it at all. You need it every single day. The easiest way to get it? Sunflower seeds. A handful, maybe a quarter cup, sprinkled on a salad or eaten as a snack. No cooking, no preparation, just a handful a day. Other good sources are green peas, black beans, and pork. But sunflower seeds win on convenience. One small caution. If you drink a lot of tea or coffee, the tannins can block some B1 absorption. You don't need to give up your morning cup. Just try to put an hour between your tea and your B1-rich meal. The third vitamin was B6. For B6, I asked Frank to eat a banana every day. 1 medium banana gives you about 20% of your daily B6, a safe, gentle amount from food, not the risky high doses you get in supplements. Other good sources: potatoes with the skin on, chicken, and chickpeas. Hummus is actually a wonderful B6 food. Chickpeas blended with olive oil and lemon. Easy to snack on. Good for your nerves. Now let me put this into a simple daily rhythm. In the morning, B12 and B1. 2 eggs at breakfast. A handful of sunflower seeds on the side. That's your B12 and B1 covered before you leave the kitchen. Midday. Keep the B1 coming. A salad with sunflower seeds and chickpeas. Or a sandwich with lean pork. And if you haven't had your banana yet, this is a good time. Evening, B6 and magnesium. Chicken or salmon, a baked potato with the skin, some green vegetables. And then, about an hour before bed, your magnesium glycinate, alone, without calcium or D3. It helps the nerves settle. It helps the muscles relax. Here's what Frank noticed. After about 2 weeks, the tingling in his fingertips started to fade. Not disappear, but fade. The burning in his feet at night became less intense. By week 4, he was sleeping through the night again. No more 2 a.m. calf cramps. No more reaching for the wall on his way to the bathroom. And by week 8, Frank was back in his workshop, rewiring an old lamp, his fingers remembering exactly what to do. Your body wants to repair itself, even after 60, even after 70, even after 80, but it needs the right materials. And sometimes the materials are sitting in your kitchen, not in a prescription bottle. That tingling in your feet, that numbness in your fingers, the little hesitation at the top of the stairs. Those are not just getting older. They're signals. your nerves are talking to you. And most of the time, they are not saying goodbye. They are saying, feed me. The 3 vitamins we talked about today, B12, B1, and B6, they don't cost much. They don't require a prescription. They are sitting in ordinary foods at your regular grocery store. But if you've been feeling these symptoms for a while, especially if you take metformin for blood sugar or a proton pump inhibitor for reflux, talk to your doctor about checking your B12. Not just a standard blood panel. Ask specifically about B12 and methylmalonic acid. It's a more sensitive test, and it can catch a deficiency before permanent damage sets in. This is for educational purposes only, not medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes. I'm Dr. William Harris, reminding you we can't always control aging, but we can absolutely shape the way we live through it. If you found this helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's been complaining about tingling in their feet or trouble with their balance. It might just change how they understand what's happening inside their body. And next time, we're going to look at one vitamin that actually has the potential to help nerves regenerate. But most people take it completely wrong, and that mistake could cost you years of progress. You won't want to miss that one. Stay strong, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.